Hi everybody and welcome to Golden Hour, a show about living your best life. Today I'd like to kind of have a conversation with you guys, something a little more informal. I want to talk about not fitting in and being a misfit. So if you have ever felt like you didn't fit in, keep watching. Hi everybody. I think throughout our lives we all feel at some point in time that we don't fit in. Maybe we feel that we're weird, that we're awkward sometimes socially. And I think that's natural. But I think a lot of us that are misfits, that toddle to the beat of a different drum, have felt that way our entire lives. I'm one of those people. I have never, ever felt like I've belonged. Even in my own family, I felt like an outcast. For no reason. I was an overachiever, I had great grades, but I just never felt like I fit in. And I think this is something that so many of us struggle with. Now, a lot of misfits, a lot of people that feel that they don't fit in are introverted. But there are those of us like me that are total extroverts that can navigate any social situation you put us in, and yet we still feel like we don't belong. There are general characteristics that those of us that are misfits share. I think one of them is that we're very intuitive people. We're self-aware. We know about our surroundings and we know that things can be different and or better than they really are. And this makes us feel not at home in the current environment. I think a lot of us are creative types, or we have some kind of extraordinary talent, be it art or music or dance, or maybe we're just really good in social situations, but that can mask how we feel inside. I tend to be very comfortable in any social situation you put me in. I mean, you throw me in the middle of a room and by the end of the night I'll have phone numbers and I'll know everybody's life story. Doesn't mean I'm really close to those people. It's just how I am. So there's that part of it. There's those that don't feel like they fit in anywhere, but then I can fit into any social situation. So I fit in everywhere. And because of that, I fit in nowhere. Let me give you an example. In high school, many, many years ago, in fact, my 40th reunion is coming up in November. I was friends with jocks, I was friends with cheerleaders, I was friends with theater geeks, I was friends with the intellectuals, I was friends because I was on the Glee Club. I had all these groups. I used to hang out with individuals from all these groups. I didn't feel like I fit in with any of them. I had my small group of friends that I still see to this day, but then I branched out into all these other groups and I never really took the time to really fit in with a group. Just to illustrate how much of an outsider I felt like when I was younger, I'm going to read you a poem. Now, you may look at me now and see a vibrant, very confident woman, and I have been confident most of my life, even though I felt like an outsider. But I think this poem illustrates it, and I don't remember it exactly because I couldn't find it through my other writings, and I'm sure it's in a box somewhere, but it went something like this. The poem was called The Spectator. Through my window I can see all the beauty surrounding me, all the birds flying high and low, all the children down below. Through my window I can look and hide. I don't belong with them outside. As I got older in life, I made friends everywhere I went. I made friends with one of my best friends that I'm still friends with today at a library playgroup with our kids. I made friends with another one of my best friends at the bus stop for our kids. I make friends in bathrooms. I make friends at Walmart, everywhere I go. And all of these people are from different groups. None of them are the same group. So I didn't have my tribe. In fact, the first time I truly felt that I fit in was when I married my dear husband Eric and we gave birth to our son in 1995. Finally, a sense of belonging. And why was that? Well, because my husband always felt like a misfit. And then we raised a creative genius, our son. And I think the three of us then became misfits together, never really fitting in any groups that we were invited to unless they were fellow creative people. I also remember as a child going over other people's houses, my cousins, my best friends, and still always feeling like an outsider, looking in. And even in my own life, feeling like an outsider looking in my own life. I wonder how many of you feel that way, that you're not even in your own life, that you're an outsider looking in at your life. It's a crazy feeling. So I don't want any of you to worry about it. It eventually comes full circle. You'll find your tribe. If you don't, you'll make your tribe. And those misfits don't even have to be misfits that enjoy the same thing. Just the fact that the other people don't feel like they fit in will give you a tribe. And I think that's what the important thing is, finding your tribe. So I would look on Facebook and I would see these people that would go out with the same people every weekend and they had their tribe. And I didn't have that. And I searched for that. In 2013, I went back to college for 2 more degrees, and there I met other people that didn't fit in, other creative people, ranging from 19 to 70. And I got very friendly with them. In fact, I'm going to a barbecue today with those friends. And I found my tribe. Now, I still love my best friends. I always will. But it's when I'm with these artistic people that I feel at home. So, to recap, people that are misfits are usually intuitive. They know there's something better. They can be creative. They're usually compassionate people, because artists just are very in tune to the world around them and very in tune to each other, and there is a camaraderie in the creative world that I don't think exists in other places. In the creative world, there's no discrimination. I am accepted at 58 years old by the 20-year-olds like I'm just one of their buddies. The 70-year-old is accepted as if he's 20. It is just a group. We don't discriminate against the millennials. We love them. We learn from them. So I think being creative, being a misfit, being that person that doesn't fit in is what makes us fit in this tribe of creatives. So if you don't feel like you fit in, the best thing you could do for yourself is find those other people that don't fit in and fit in together. Now, going back to growing up, I would go over my sister's house, my older sister's house, and she had children that are my age, and they loved me and they welcomed me and they treated me, you know, as the family I was, but I still wasn't their kid and I still didn't fit in. And then my parents being so much older, having me in their 40s, their friends' kids were all older than me. So they would drag me to picnics. And again, I didn't fit in. But I always had this creative desire. You know, I remember being 7 years old, all the way up to 18 years old and beyond. In my living room, I would grab a magic marker and I would put on a variety show, like Dean Martin, and I would sing, and I would have guests that were like my stuffed animals and stuff. But I would put on a whole Christmas variety show. I'd put on different seasonal shows, always entertaining for no one. I think it starts young, this feeling of not fitting in. I think the other thing that we people that don't fit in have is we tend not to be able to accept the ordinary life. Ordinary life, for those of us that are artists, that's really, really hard. Sitting behind a desk for 8 or 10 hours, dealing with the normal things that you have to deal with in life. It's not that we're lazy. We will put in 14-hour days in that which we love. But being in that situation is very, very difficult for us because we don't want the ordinary. I was married for 20 years. I did have my child and I loved every minute of it, but the creative thing was missing, and I channeled it into my son, who is now a dancer in New York. So I was able to live on the fringe of the creative world for many years. And now that he's out and about and doing his own thing, here I am trying to make my way. So because of the fact that misfits can't stand the ordinary life, they usually follow their dream, and people can't understand why they would soak so much energy and time into something that really doesn't pay well. Because if you're in the arts, well, you know it's a struggle and there isn't a lot of money in it, but it's that passion, that drive, that differentness, that uniqueness about us that keeps us going. It's that passion for what we love to do. And the ordinary people don't understand it. The ordinary people accept the 40-hour-a-week job with security. But those of us that are misfits, we can't live in that world. We need something better. And as a result, we're usually game changers. We usually change the world around us for the better, whether it's with our energy or what we invent or the art that we produce. We are leaders. We have strength. We're bold. We'll taste the unknown and we'll go for it. And because of that, we might be labeled weird or quirky or some other adjective that really doesn't suit us, because we really are wonderful people. So if you're someone that has always felt that you've toddled to the beat of a different drum, that you're quirky, that you don't belong, find your tribe. I think you all know how incredibly popular Lady Gaga is. From pop singer to movie star, she's just an amazing force in the creative world. And as I was reading up about other misfits, and there are a lot of them, I read the following in an article by Douglas E.B., where he talks about the fact that creative people sometimes do feel like misfits. And he recalls something that Lady Gaga once said. She said she felt like a freak in high school. And look how popular she is now. She made it. She followed her dream. She didn't accept the ordinary. So don't you. As you notice, I always have lights around in the background of my Hollywood picture. And today I chose a specific color, green, because as I was reading about other misfits, I found out that a lot of them actually feel like aliens. I don't feel like an alien, but I do feel like I was born in a different time and place. In my mind, I should have been born in maybe the 30s or the 40s or the 50s, when the world was different, when chivalry existed, when there was protocol and manners. And sometimes I view my life as a 1940s or 50s musical. And as my child was growing up, we would do that in our house. We would dance around the dining room table singing songs. I'm always the first one to get my friends to sing karaoke, because I think life should be filled with that zest, that fun, that creative flair. So if you're a misfit, I love you, my fellow misfits, and embrace it. Don't try to fight it. I don't fight it anymore. I make no excuses for who I am. I am who I am, and either love me or leave me. And I think that's the attitude you need to have. Be happy that you're not ordinary. Be happy that you don't fit in, because that not fitting in means you are extraordinary. Now keep watching, and I'll show you a short clip of somewhere I went this week to have a little bit of fun. Hi everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I decided to have some fun at Devil's Hop Yard in East Haddam. It's a really hot day. It's about 90 degrees, as you can see by my hair. But I decided to come out anyway and enjoy a little walk through the falls. So I hope you enjoy it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video of the waterfall at Devil's Hop Yard. It was an extremely hot day, and there was so many people playing in the water that it was really hard for me to get good footage, but I wanted to show you a little bit about what Devil's Hop Yard is all about. Note to self, do not try to make that climb down to the waterfall in flip-flops. It was a tough climb. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Thursday with my next episode. Go get your shine on.